Hello, and welcome to my cooking channel. Let's get started and see how to make drained rice together. I pour 1 cup of rice per person into a bowl. Then I clean the rice to remove any stones or debris. Next, I wash the rice 2 to 3 times with cold water. Finally, I cover the rice with water and, depending on the brand, let it soak for 1 to 2 hours. Since I had 4 cups of rice, I added 2 tablespoons of salt and let the rice soak. Then I fill a fairly large pot halfway with water and bring it to a boil. Then I drain the rice that I had soaked and I add the rice to the boiling water. I also taste the salt, and if it needs more, I add some. To help the rice become longer and whiter, I add half a small glass of white vinegar. I stir it a little and let the rice cook. After 5 or 6 minutes, I take a grain of rice and press it between my fingers. If the edges of the rice are soft but the center is still raw, it's time to drain the rice. Then I drain the rice. Next, I put the pot back on the heat to let the bottom dry out. I pour a bit of oil into it. I add a bit of salt and arrange the sliced potatoes at the bottom. You can also use lavash bread instead if you like. Then I pour the rice back into the pot. With the back of a spoon, I make 1 or 2 holes in the rice. This way, the rice steams faster. I put the lid on the pot with a steam cloth wrapped around it and close it tightly. First, I turn up the heat a bit to let it steam. Then I lower the heat and let it cook for about 30 to 40 minutes so the rice steams through. After that, I use ghee, which gives the rice an amazing flavor. You can also use vegetable oil if you prefer. At the end, I pour the hot oil I prepared over the rice. Delicious. And here is my perfectly cooked, fluffy, and delicious rice ready to serve. This is how I make my rice. Dear friends, if you prepare rice using any other method, I'd love for you to share it with me in the comments. Thank you for supporting me with your likes and comments.